Well, so the Volvo XC60 is not a new model. It's been around for a while, and I just did one, not too long ago, probably about 4 or 5 months ago. I did an XC60. Now, for 2022, which is this one, Volvo did some subtle changes. They refreshed it a little bit, very subtle changes on the exterior, but they've done a lot of changes right underneath the hood, as well as they have a completely new operating system for their infotainment system. So today I'm back here at Volvo Cars of Fort Myers, Florida, and I'm going to take you on a tour of this vehicle. We're going to check out the exterior, interior, play with the new technology, finally take it for a spin, see how that new engine affects the performance of this brand new XC60. If this is the first time we meet, my name is Matt Samolski. I'm Matt the Car Guy, and on this channel I do car reviews. Consider checking out the rest of this channel. If you like it, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me out tremendously. So without any further ado, let's get back to this video. So in the first look at the front of this vehicle, you'd say, hey, nothing has changed, and you would be right. As far as the body of the vehicle, all the panels remain the same. The lights are still the same. I have the blinkers blinking, so I can point out to you finally those hammer T lights. Those are the turn signals / the daytime running lights and the fully LED lights. By the way, this is the Inscription model, so this is the highest end model, the most luxurious one. So that's why this grille has the chrome vertical inserts on it. Now, if you look at the R design, or if you look at the Momentum, the R design is all going to be blacked out, and the Momentum is going to be kind of a combination of that. It still does have that big Volvo logo right in here. There's a front camera built inside of it, so we know it's going to have the 360. By the way, most of the technology for the sensors is right in front of that rear view mirror, right behind that windshield in here. And then going down here, the bottom side of this front bumper is open, so that allows for more air coming inside of it, and it does have that chrome trim piece in here. Now, the only difference that I've noticed when looking at the 2021 versus 2022 is actually this little chrome piece right here. I haven't seen it at any of their models. Very subtle design change, but there is one. Also, there are fog lights right at the very bottom on here. The one thing that I wish I could see is those design elements, which is basically they're closed, they're not real vents. They could have opened it up. That would probably allow for more cooling of the wheels. Hood is nice and long. There's a few very distinct body lines going on it. What I like about this Volvo design, that it's kind of timeless. I mean, if you look at it from 10 years from now, or if you look at the Volvos 10 years ago, I mean, they still look pretty good, don't they? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But right now I'm going to pop the hood and we'll see what the new engine looks like. All right, well, let's check out the engine. But before we do that, let me just give you kind of a side view how tall this hood opens. Hydraulic struts, they hold it up and tall for anybody that wants to work on it so they don't bump their heads. On the first look, I mean, you probably don't see any differences. At least I don't. Nice engine cover. The engine size is the same. It's a 2.0 liter engine. This one is a turbocharged, but it also, what's new for this year, it adds a mild hybrid system, which is a 48-volt battery assisted system. And basically what that is, it helps you with fuel consumption. It gives you a better fuel consumption, fuel economy. And then the second thing, it helps with powering all of the accessories, as well as it helps with engine stop. When you stop at the light, the engine stops, right? And then when it starts up, first it starts off in this electric mode, and then supposedly it's a seamless transition to the fully gasoline engine. So we'll see it when driving. But what happens as far as the specs? So it lost a few ponies, right? It used to be 250, right now it's 247 horsepower. The torque remained the same at 258. Still made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it does have that manual shifting, so we're going to check that out. The fuel economy went up. It went up by about 3 miles per gallon, and we're going to talk about that as well. But I'm really curious. I'm excited to take this on the road at the end of this video and see if there's any noticeable differences between this and the last year's model. There's no changes literally on the side. I mean, it's still the same body. It's still the same body lines in here. It's very nice. It's very clean. It's modern. It's polished. It's kind of a timeless design like we were talking in the front. Now, this is a Inscription model, so this is the highest end model. We're going to see some of the chrome trim running alongside the bottom of this vehicle. We're going to have some chrome around the windows. We're even going to have a little bit of that chrome roof rails that are on top of it. As you can see, the blinkers are blinking, so it does have the LED turn signal built inside the mirrors. By the way, the mirrors are fully loaded, right? So they're heated mirrors. There's a blind spot assist in them. They fold down, and then they have the blinkers on it. I can't believe that you can pack so many features into the mirrors, but most manufacturers are doing similar things right now. Now, the Inscription comes with the 19-inch wheels standard. Now, these were upgraded to the 20-inch rims, and there's also, that's one of the differences too, that they've changed designs on some of the rims. To be honest with you, I haven't checked out if this is a new design or if that has been around for a while, but those wheels look pretty cool, especially with this brownish gray color on here. So you might be telling me, hey Matt, I mean, you tricked me, there's really no changes in the back either. And if you look at this portion right on top of here, you'd be right. I mean, it still has this nice gate spoiler in here, very nice lights. I love the way that Volvo does their lights. It's not only super visible, but it's pretty cool to look at as well. So fully LED lights, you have the turn signals that are blinking right now, you also have the reverse lights, and then they kind of go into the gate. XC60 Volvo spelled out on here. Okay, B5, see, that's the different designation of the engine. Instead of T5, it's B5, and B6 for the turbo and supercharged models right there. But when you see some of the differences is this bottom portion right here. So they changed a little bit of that rear bumper. First of all, you don't see the exhausts anymore. It used to be exhausts that are exposed. Right now they're hidden behind it, and you know, I guess it's personal preference, whatever you like, whether it's nice or not. Inscription model will have some chrome trim alongside the entire length of the bumper in here, and you have some reflector lights in the back. Now, of course, it does have the power gate. It opens up nice and tall. And let's quickly check out the roominess in here. So first of all, I don't think I mentioned it, but this vehicle competes in this smaller mid-size segment, right? So it's not a compact, it's not quite a mid-size SUV, but it's basically in the same category as Mercedes-Benz GLC, BMW X3, if you're looking in the premium market. And then you can also put in the same basket like the newly designed GV70 by Genesis, Audi Q5, and then you can also put the Acura RDX in here. So it does have a spare tire, which is nice. Look at this. It does have the battery in here. Well, it's not the battery, but it's all this electrical system in there. Now it does have, this is the temporary use spare tire, but it is there. So in case you get stranded on the road, you don't have to rely only on that fix-a-flat. Tons of room in here. Now the seats, they're 60-40 split with the pass-through in the middle, and there is no release of the seats in here, so you can either do it from the inside of the vehicle, or you have to lean over and basically open it up. 12-volt outlet in here, and this one is equipped with the optional cargo cover. Now, as far, I like the way they did it, as far as the cargo cover, it can be in this position right here, or you can basically lock it at the bottom. Not sure what the difference would be, but that's what it is. See, that's where you basically fold the seats right here. Okay. For somebody shorter, it might be an issue, but that's basically what you get. This is how much room you get with the seats folded down. So quite a bit of room. It's not exactly a moving truck, but for the everyday shopping, for moving something occasionally, it's perfect. Okay, so as far as the roominess in the back seat, check this out. Now I do have this seat adjusted to my normal driving position. Again, I'm 6 feet tall, so there's plenty of room, even with the seat back like it is right now. And there's plenty of knee room, there's plenty of foot room. The footwells are really nice and deep. And I can sit really comfortably in this vehicle. Now the interior is what I love about Volvos. You know what, let's check it out together. All right, so let's start with the panel of the doors. Nicely leather wrapped. It's a combination of plastic and leather in here. It does have, check it out, it does have the Bowers and Wilkins stereo. This is not standard on the Inscription model. Standard comes Harman and Kardon, and this one is a $3,200 option. So if you look on the inside, as you can see, nice roomy back seat, nicely designed. It is Napa leather seating surfaces, and it opens up like right here. You have storage compartment. You do have a cup holders that are pulling up from here. So nicely designed middle tray, multi-function. That's pretty cool as well. And then you have this pass-through. Now, if you needed to put something longer through the seats in here. All right, so what else do we have here? Like in the middle console, let's just jump in here. You do have your heated seats. You also can control the fan speed. Now, is it locked right now? I might have it locked in the front, so I can't do it, but you see that screen, that's what enables you to control it. And at the bottom of it right here, you do have the USB-C. I believe last year's was just a regular USB ports in here. Now we're gonna jump inside of there and see where the magic happened. Did it change anything as far as the quality? At least the door sounds the same as it did. As you can see, there's a little bit indentation that tells you that it does have this keyless entry system. Basically, you can lock it, you can unlock it by putting your hand inside of that. It's not going to work when the vehicle is running, which this one is. But let's open the door. Okay, same theme as in the back, obviously matte, right? Bowers and Wilkins stereo right here. This is the high-end stereo system. Sounds awesome. Now, you do have some memory seats and the lock and unlock, as well as the windows and mirror controls. And check this out, right? Love the seats. This is not as aggressive as on the R design, which is the sporty one, but Napa leather, perforated seats, perforated because they're heated and ventilated. Several different adjustments on the seats, including that support for your knees, which is really important for me when I'm driving a car. Makes it so much more comfortable. Love the design of it. Let's jump in. Let's see what happens there. One of my favorite features of this vehicle is the interior of it, and I just want to give you that at a glance. So we're going to check it out before going into specific components of it. I love that design. There's nothing too crazy, but it's just where it's supposed to be. Top of this, you know, it is this soft plastic. Okay, the same trim goes around here. Now this is like a wood trim, and check it out. It looks like it's one piece going around this infotainment system in here. And then you have the different color at the bottom here. You have this beige, which, you know, basically is the same as the seats of this. Huge glove box. It's probably the biggest glove box in its class, if you ask me. On the door, I mean, we've seen it. You see that Bauer and Wilkins. You see those speakers peeking through. There's another one. This is what right away you can see that it's been upgraded with this stereo system right here. Bowers and Wilkins stereo. Sounds amazing. I hope I'm going to be able to turn it on for just a little bit. You can still see it's the same 9-inch screen right in the middle in here. Okay, it's vertical, very nice, but they did change it, and you probably already see it, but we're going to talk about it in just a little bit. Okay, and going down in here, you have some shortcuts for basically your radio, your hazard lights, and then you can put your memory card, etc. in here. Steering wheel, two-tone steering wheel even. Love the design of it. Multi-function steering wheel. On the left-hand side controls like the cruise control. Then the right-hand side controls what's going on in that infotainment screen right there in that instrument cluster right there. You can see there's different pages, and then you can basically select left and right in here. By the way, let's check this out because this is cool. There's nothing too crazy about it, okay? But you can have, let's say, maps, and you've seen that little Google thing come up. Yes, it is equipped with the newest version of Android Automotive infotainment system, right? So that's the new software that's running it right now. So if you're an Android fan, you're gonna find it so easy to use and operate. And I love the way that the map covers the entire screen. Basically, you have the speed right on the left hand side, and you have the map on the inside, and then basically the only other thing you have is the range, and it's basically in the yellow right now, saying that we only have 50 miles to go. And then of course your gear selector in here. The regular instrument cluster, okay, you can change different things that are in the middle of here. Okay, so you can reset your trip, you can reset that type of stuff inside of here. And let's go back in here. If you put it in the regular mode, you see that there is a speedometer as well as a tachometer on both sides in here. All right, you see that there's no pedal shifters in here. They're located. We can manually shift it at the brand new shifter too. But before we get to it, let's take a look at this new software that runs this infotainment system. All right, like I said, if you're an Android fan, you're in for a treat because it's going to be just like using your phone. If you're not, well, you can learn it, and that's really easy. There's really no learning curve. Maps, connect your device. I mean, you can connect it to your device, but let's take a look at maps. Does it look familiar? Of course it does. Okay, now it is also voice controlled, so it responds to, "Hey Google, what's the weather today?"
Today in Fort Myers, it'll be mostly sunny, with a forecasted high of 90 and a low of 77. Right now it's 90 degrees and mostly sunny.
Well, thank you. That doesn't surprise me. It's 90 degrees. It's steamy outside, guys. All right, shortcut buttons. If you get lost, okay, here's your home button, takes you back to the home screen. You can also go to the main menu or to the apps right here, clicking this little button right here. Everything else, okay, at the bottom, it remains the same. So you do have your climate control, basically. It opens up this quad zone on this vehicle climate control. They have a dual zone climate control on the lower end models, but this is a quad zone, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Okay, and then you can control your seats in here and the steering wheel. So it does have a heated steering wheel, heated seats, ventilated seats, which feel awesome, by the way. Okay, synced with the driver. You can unsync it if you want to. You have a different temperature for driver and passenger. Okay, and then settings for different drive modes: driving assist, sound, studio stage, room tone. Basically, it tells you off where the speakers are gonna come at. So a very sophisticated system. Most of the people probably won't mess with that too much, but as far as so you can have different profiles. Basically, you can connect the key to profile. You can put the administrative profile, so you can do some changes. And basically, every time you unlock the car with the key, it's gonna go to your profile. So if you haven't, like, you know, radio station stored or memory seat settings, etc. stored, that's gonna go in here. Well, if we're talking about the key, Volvo sticks with their older design key. It still has the button on the side. It has the Volvo logo on one side, basically, and the panic button on this side right here. They can also use the app to, like, start your vehicle and stuff if you paid for the service. I believe it comes free for several months. One thing that I've noticed, the key lost leather. Okay, it used to be leather wrapped, it's plastic right now. Back to the infotainment system. Maps, device, phone, start navigation. That's your main button right here. Bluetooth player, Google Assistant, car status. That's all integrated in there. It basically checks out, let's say this one is checking the tire pressure in here. We're just gonna go back in here, Play Store, which you can download some your favorite apps that you're using on your Android phone. Good question would be, Matt, does it connect to Apple phones? Okay, and I believe it does. No paired devices. Now I don't have an Apple phone. I do have an Android phone, so I can tell you I'm about 99.9999% sure that it will connect to my phone. Okay, and sure enough, it says my phone. We're gonna pair it. Yep, pair it. Confirm code. Boom. That's how you connect the phone. Here you go. You learned something new. We're connected for phone and media. We're done in here, and you can edit devices. You can pair them. We're not going to go to through the whole setup, but basically the other things that it's asking me is to get access to my phone history, etc., etc. in here. We go to edit devices. If you want to delete it, you just hit delete and forget this device. We'll go back to no paired devices. This is as easy as it gets. So nice, it's crisp, it's very fast as far as getting the reaction time for here. Also pretty cool, the new feature with Google Maps. Also find nearest Google. Hey Google, find nearest gas station. Okay, so we're gonna get
quite a few gas stations in the area, and you can tell me the number of the one you want anytime.
Number
Shop
one.
on Colonial Boulevard is 0.2 miles away. Should I add that destination?
Yes. So, you know, we just added this destination in here, but it does tell you, hey, it's $2.97 per gallon. Now, some of the vehicles have that built in. Now, this is part of Google Maps, so we're not going to actually go there. This is your infotainment system. This is pretty cool. We'll scroll down in here, and that's where we see another change. If you remember, Volvo XC60 was still the one with the older shifter. Now, this one has, I'm not sure, I haven't seen this crystal looking shifter on any other ones before. They usually have like this open space in here. This must be a special edition. Aure for Sweden. Okay, that's basically what it says right on here. Beautiful design, crystal design. I love the design. I'm not sure if I like the functionality on it. The previous one, it was obvious. Okay, you basically put it in drive and then you drive. With this, it's a double tap to put it in drive. Okay, you push it to put it in reverse. Okay, and then you press the parking to put it into the parking mode right now. So now that I have that, let's go back to the screen because I just pulled up the 360 camera. Oh, we're gonna go back in here. And then you can see that front camera that I just basically pointed out to you. You can basically say, hey, you know, show me the front, beautiful weeds in the front. Okay, we're gonna go back, show me the back, see what's going on. Goes into the you know, split screen, and it still has that obstruction like we've seen on the other year. Go back to 360 and you can see the side cameras from the top. Now I'm gonna move the wheel. Okay, you can see the front wheel moving. That's important too because you'll see exactly what's happening in here, and then you can do it from the other side as well. So really nice. It's a really nice and crisp view of the camera. Okay, I still wish that if it did go into the rear camera, it would cover the entire screen. All right, I promised you something, and we're just gonna check it out really quickly. If we go to a radio mode, okay, we're gonna just try a radio station. Very nice and clean and crisp sound. I can't do it for the copyright issues, but you have to trust me that Bowers and Wilkins, I mean, if you're an audiophile, I mean, you appreciate the sound that it's coming out of that Harman and Kardon would be good enough for me, but everybody's different. Now, standard across the lineup right now with the XC60s is the wireless charging pad. Now, I do have a credit card case on my phone, and it doesn't acknowledge that. So you'd have to either have just a regular case or no case at all. Here, you still have the power outlet, okay? You can close this part right here, okay? Regular cup holders. These are not for the big gulps, so those are European ones. Sorry for those of you who like to drink those buckets of Coke. It closes up. It's the same wooden trim as you can see right on top of here. The way you start the engine, twist it to start, twist it to stop. And what I just noticed, I believe there used to be drive modes in here, okay? And they're not. Interesting. And if you go to driving dynamics right in here, you can either turn off the off-road mode. That's it. You can put the steering feel firm on this and then select the different features in here. Now, maybe it changes the driving modes when I shift the shifter into drive. Nope, just goes to manual mode. Okay, doesn't have it, I guess. Well, I think they might have got rid of it. Anyways, let's look up in here. Regular mirror, frameless mirror, which is really, really nice. Okay, you do have the LED lights right here. You just touch it. It's basically, you don't have to press anything, just touch it. And this is the pretty cool feature as far as the sunroof. Now, it does have this long sunroof. Look at this. And I love this like semi-transparent cover. So it still lets some light in here, but you basically slide your finger, okay, it's gonna open it up all the way, the cover right there. And once it's open, all you do is slide it again and open up that moonroof. Nice quiet operation too. All right, it does have this windscreen right here. Let's close it up and let's close the cover, keep this vehicle as cool as we can on this hot summer day. And then we're going to move on to drive and see if it drives any different than the last year's model. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. I gotta tell you guys, I'm ready to take this one for a spin really quick. We're gonna go through some of the pricing, the basic pricing of those vehicles. They still have three distinct styles, right? It starts with the Momentum, and it starts at $43,745. Then Inscription at $51,245, which is this one, and then there's an R Design at $49,895. So Inscription is the most expensive, is the most luxurious. Now this one is over $59,000 because it does have some extra features on it, and I'm going to post that in the link of the description of this video, in the description below. So really quick, I mentioned that it does have a better gas mileage. What does that mean? Well, what that means, it does have 26 miles per gallon combined, 23 in the city, 30 on the expressway. So that's an increase about 2 miles per gallon from the previous generation. Okay, let's double tap it and go towards the front. First thing we're going to check out really quick is the turning radius. So steering wheel all the way, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4.25 parking spaces. So it's tight. It's not as tight as some of the other vehicles, but you know, it is a pretty good turning radius. All right, overall feel of this vehicle so far, I don't feel any different that I did in 2021 model, which is still very nice, very solid. Going over this little bump was a breeze, even with the 20-inch wheels. And the engine that you heard is because I had it in the manual mode and it was still in gear number 1, but it should have switched already. So now I put it in the regular drive mode, and we're gonna merge into the not the expressway but the street in just a second to see some of the driving dynamics, like the acceleration, the cornering, and hopefully a braking. hopefully we're going to be able to check it all out. And there's a red light in here, so of course we're not going to be able to hit that hard, but I know a secret street that should be wide open at about this time of the day. Overall, it's a very user-friendly vehicle. You don't really need to adjust too much to get in it and start driving. Some of the cars you kind of have to like figure it out and spend a good 10-15 minutes trying to play with stuff where it's at. Basic functions, there are where they at. As far as the infotainment system, like I said, if you're an Android user, it's going to be a breeze. You're going to get into it right away. You're going to make a right-hand turn. I'm not going to slow down all the way to do it purposely. Very nice. All right, then let's accelerate. Okay, we got it up to almost 60 miles per hour, which is about as far as I can go on this particular street. But I tell you, it was quick. It wasn't super fast. So the B6 that they have with the turbocharger, supercharged, or even if you want to get faster than that, you might consider going with like the recharge model. That's like 400 horsepower on that. But the B6 should be plenty with the supercharger and the turbocharger on that. Very comfortable, very quiet ride. I don't hear too much of the engine noise. I don't barely hear any tire noise, and those are big wheels. And I'd love to hear the stereo. Unfortunately, due to the copyright policies with YouTube, I can't play copyrighted music on here. We're gonna go around here, get some of the corners done. As far as the visibility, it does have really nice visibility pretty much all around this vehicle. Seems a little stiff, but that's typical of Volvo, but it makes a difference. Like when you're cornering like this, the cars that are not as stiff, that don't have that European stiffness in them, they'll be all over the place. This one is like on rails. Very nice. I like this car. I like the 2021. I don't see a huge difference in performance or in the way that this vehicle drives from 2021 to 2022. I think the main difference you're gonna see at the gas pump, where you're gonna save a few dollars because it uses less gas. But as far as the transition, that might be a good thing. We'll see if the transition, from stop to go, that's what I read, that it's going to be like seamless transmission. When you stop at the light, the engine shuts off, and then it starts off. We don't even know when. So that might be something to check it out. I hope that I hope we're gonna have a red light. But overall, nice and easy drive, very comfortable. We're pulling up to the red light, so I'm going to stop and see if this engine's going to turn off. There you go. Engine is off right now. You can hear that the air conditioning just kind of quieted down a little bit, so to conserve the energy in that mode, it reduces the power output to that. Now the engine kicked back on. I heard it. But that's because the temperature in the car probably started going up, so the AC needed more power to draw. That's it. So not a big difference with that as well as far as the engine. I didn't think it was jerky last year. I don't think it's jerky this year. So overall, very nice car. Very impressed with it. Guys, if you're looking for a Volvo in the Florida region, check the guys out. McGrath Volvo, Fort Myers, Florida. Great group of people, and they will help you out. They'll get you the best deal possible, and hopefully you'll drive off in the new car or pre-owned. I'll put a link in the description below so you can check them out yourself. Anyways, if you like watching videos like this, consider checking out the rest of my channel. If you hit subscribe, hit like, you're gonna get entered into my cash giveaway. So hopefully you'll do that just because you like videos like this, and maybe you like me for some odd reason, but maybe you'll do it for a cash giveaway. It's available. As long as we hit 10,000 subscribers at the end of the year, I'm giving away some money. I'll put details in the description below. And until then, I will see you in my next video. Cheers.